Hello everyone. My name is Shivangi Goel and I welcome you all in our series of podcasts naming Life Talks with Shivangi, where I'll be interviewing people from different areas of life and will be discussing about their life journey, what are the struggles that they have faced and as an individual, how did they turn their dreams into reality, and how did they come out of all the failures and make it a big success in their life. So stay tuned with us and please enjoy all the life journey of so many different people and learn try to learn a lot from all those experiences and try to include all those experiences into your personal life to make you as a better person or to make your professional or personal life more better than before. Thank you so much. So hi guys, today we have Apurv Muthe with us, a young entrepreneur, founder of Sprout Media digital marketing company, a motivational speaker, developer of so many different applications being available on Google Play Store, and an inspiration to millions of people out there who are aspiring to do something of their own but having that fear of failing out. So guys, don't miss out an amazing conversation with this amazing person and try to learn a lot from this conversation. Stay tuned. Thank you. Just wanted to know, how was your quarantine time or how you are dealing with the upcomings of quarantine?
So basically, the first initial 1.5 months it was like very boring. I just spent it playing video games, and then after that, I started to learn new things and decided to apply all those things. So I created my Instagram business page by the name That Marketing Guy, and I started to focus more on personal branding. So the personal branding part has really helped me to get new clients for the marketing agency. So that was it for me for the quarantine. So it was for me like learning new things, applying those things, and then sharing the documented journey with other people, so that people can learn the same from the things that I'm sharing over there.
Nice. So when I was going through your profile and finding out things about you, I find it really very interesting. Like जब बच्चे 9 साल की उम्र में they used to play and you started learning coding and doing all those things. So it's
Yeah.
actually making you different from those kids definitely. But how did कैसे आप में ये coding का इतना ज़्यादा interest आया that when you were in nine you was 9 you started all these things?
Yeah, yeah. So the thing was like in our school we used to have computers. That time it was Windows 95, I guess, and we had a software named Logo. So we used to create shapes over there, like we used to type commands and then the turtle over there used to move. So it was like very fascinating thing for me. So then after like 1 or 2 years, my dad got a computer at home. And then the thing was like the computer needed to be assembled, but the guy was on holiday, so he didn't assemble it. So at night when I was sleeping, I decided to assemble it by myself, and I found it like really fascinating. Back then there was like no proper internet for seeing the YouTube videos and all this, so I just went to the manual and then started assembling the thing, and it was like a really interesting thing for me. And when I set up the computer, I used to play video games back then, and I thought like it would be very interesting to create my own games. Like I will be the hero over there, I will be adding the commands and all these things. So that was it for me. So that was the work that did me back then. Like I have to create my own things. So that's why I started programming, and then it went on for the long term.
Yeah, and then you made tic-tac-toe, right?
Yeah. So it was very basic game. So at that time I learned about AI and gaming and then just applied it over there. And I used to play because the thing is like I didn't have much friends, so I used to just play on the computer with the AI. So that was it for me.
So it's like you don't like communicating much. That's the reason you're not having friends, or it's like the kind of people you're looking for as your friends doesn't have much interest on computers and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Not in the computers. Overall, we can call it like the people are not having much interest in creating things that would impact lives of others. So that's why I could not communicate much with people. Like I have a very limited number of friends. So I just communicate with them because they are the ones who understand the ideas that I'm trying to tell, and at least they are the ones who are at least trying to create something on their own. So I just get mixed up in these groups and not in the people who are discussing random college things or school things.
Okay, so then you basically like creative people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really good. And I also read like you have created so many applications that's been on Play Store too. Would you like
Yeah,
to tell us about all those applications and the one that you find, okay, this is the one that's the most beautiful creation I have done till date?
yeah. So my most beautiful creation didn't went on Play Store because I just quit in the middle. It was more productivity revenue. So I created, even I don't remember the number to be honest, it was like 8, 9 apps. And I created my first app for Kumbh Mela 2020. It was for Nasik's Kumbh Mela in 2015. And I created that app. So the main aim was to like help people to smoothly go through the Kumbh Mela process because it's like a big event of 20 lakh people. So that was it for me back then, and it was sort of like social entrepreneurship experiment. And after that, I created a thing called Tinkerbot. So it was an AI-based chatbot that helped people to learn new things. But then it was on the Facebook Messenger, and it didn't really went on Play Store because we were in the beta testing. So yeah, I would say like Tinkerbot was one of my best creations, and people are still using it today, despite of closing down all the operations. People are still using it today.
That's amazing, Apu. And there were like some initial challenges that you must have faced. Is there any kind of challenge regarding resources or family support or anything, any like team building or something that you have faced in initial phases?
So the thing is like people in India don't take youngsters very seriously. So I remember starting a company named Webdesk and we used to go to all the shopkeepers in 2015 and we used to create websites for you, but then people didn't take very seriously. People used to like, it's just a small kid, you would not do the job and all these things. So we just made two websites and then nothing was happening. So this is one of the most important, like most difficult challenge that I faced, and still today there are a lot of people who judge people based on their age. So this age thing is very difficult over here, and the other thing is the family support. Because the thing is like when you're doing something extraordinary where you are not gonna make money for at least next 5 years, you need extreme psychological support from the people who are around you. But then I even lack that support because the people around me or the family they used to never support me in these things because they wanted like to have a nice life that would be like just go get a degree, get a job and that's it. But then it never suited me, so then I have to create my own path in this thing. So then that's how I went through all these hurdles. But then over the period of time when we started to like generate profits, then everyone around like they suddenly started to trust me now.
I completely relate with this. So, since like something was there that you have convinced your family, nahi, I wanted to do something like this rather than just going for 9 to 5 job and have a very safe life. You wanted to create
Yeah.
something of your own, right?
Yeah.
That's
But then I tried to convince them once or twice, but they didn't seem interested. So then it's sort of like, I'm going to do what I want to do, you do what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, it's my life, my dreams, and that's what matters for me. So I just went and did it.
yeah, that's true. But for people who will listen this podcast, it is for them like how if they see some dreams, then how should they continue with it? Because some at certain point of time you need to have your family to support you, and
Yeah.
again then this funda of your dreams or your life, you can do whatever you want to. Generally, don't work with them. So how you want to
Yeah.
convey your message? Ki no, if it's your dream and if you know that you are capable enough to do it, so just go for it. Is there any
So
piece
the
of
thing is
advice that
like, yeah. So the thing is like, if you completely trust on your plan, first of all, you need to create a plan. Because if you have a plan, you will at least show something to your parents like this is the plan for my next 2 years. Just give me 2 years of my life. If it works out, well and good. If not, I will do whatever you want me to do. Just for the time being, just say these things, and you will get a time for like 2 years. And the
that's
most important thing is like to start earning money in those 2 years because whenever you are earning money, people around you will start trusting you. Your thing might be like brilliant or might be ahead of the time, but if you're taking 10 years or 15 years to make money out of that thing, you cannot get much time from your family or from your parents. So just take some time and try to make money in that particular time and then show like my plan is working, I'll be continuing with this particular thing. Then there's gonna be no issue, like people will trust you for sure then after that.
So it's sort of like you have, if you have started making money on a very initial stages, like 1 year or 2 year, then your family will feel like, okay, then they are doing
Yeah,
something and
exactly,
we
exactly. At least he's
can
doing,
make
at
money.
least he's doing something that is earning money for eating
Yeah,
his own food. So that will be better thing.
yeah, that's actually a good piece of advice, and I will apply it too.
Yeah.
So,
I was just going through and I found out about Sprout Media that you have created, and it's all about digital marketing and everything. So
Yeah.
I have actually read it somewhere too that any idea you are working on or you're actually even thinking of is already existing. So how you
Yeah.
think Sprout Media is different from the other platforms serving the same sort of deliverables?
Yeah. So I had the same question when I started Sprout Media 10 months back. So, but that time I saw the competitors like what are the points that they are lacking, because for the namesake digital marketing companies, they are like in every tier two city also you will find 50 or 60 digital marketing agencies. But the thing is like which is the best amongst them? And when your idea is already executed by someone, your aim should be like how I will become the market leader in that particular thing. So for me, it was like there were a lot of people who used to just create posts on Canva and then they used to post in the name of social media marketing. But that's not how things actually work. So we just created like we decided to bridge this gap and created like we will go into the storytelling method and then we'll be serving the client the way they want and our service will be very amazing. So these were some of the points that I found here, like these were the drawbacks. And we just worked on them and then now it's like we are in the top 5 or top 10 agencies in Nasik over here. So that's it, like just try to develop your thing, just try to make the excellence of whatever you're creating and you'll ultimately lead the market.
That's really good to hear, Apu. Could you please elaborate me more, like what kind of stories you create? Do you just make some sort of video or let people know their
No.
story?
Yeah, so what we do is like, for example, there's a particular thing we want to sell, like our customer has their thing. We work to create story around that particular product. So that's how it works for us. For example, if there's a mobile that I want to sell, I'll be creating a story around that mobile, that how this mobile will be helping you, or we can just put that mobile in a common life situation. Like for example, if there's some person and he's needing something at that particular product time, then this mobile or this particular thing is going to help you. We just try to relate the product that people want to say to the lives of the other people, like who will be the purchasing person. And that's how the product ultimately gets sale and we are helping them to make sale in that thing. So
So putting in
stories,
the
it's
emotions and
yeah,
feelings.
yeah, exactly. So stories, it's not like creating like storybooks or something like that, bigger stories. It's all about connecting products with the people. That's it all about.
That's a good way of actually selling your product.
Yeah, yeah,
If somebody will feel connected with your product, they'll definitely going to buy it.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah. So, how you have actually handled all your failures till date? I mean, doing something out of the box, meaning you're inviting failures into your life, and failures are the paths to actual success. So, how you have
Yeah.
handled your failures?
So from my first failure itself, I understood like this is not gonna be my first failure. I'll be failing in a lot more things, because the thing is like what happens with a lot of people, especially the youngsters, like they failed in something, they talk with themselves like I'm not gonna fail again. I'll be just working on making myself successful person. But for me, it was like this will not be my first failure, and failures gradually came over the period of time. But for me, it was like if I have failed in particular thing, I am gonna fail in the next thing. But my main aim should be like I would fail better in the next thing, because I should take some learnings from my first failure and at least try to make like bigger failure or something like at least that I should be proud of. So, for example, it was for me like from my first startup to today. In my first startup, I might have made 10,000 rupees, but then Sprout Media, we make like around 5 to 6 lakh rupees. So, that is development for me. Even if Sprout Media fails tomorrow, I'll be proud of my thing. Like, I have developed over the period of years that I at least failed better over here. So, that's how I gradually handle the failures. And as it's like before, like I'll be looking back at these failures and then connect the dots. So it will gradually everything will come together in the future.
So, using your past experiences to bringing up the more good work in future, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually, I guess, the young entrepreneurs who wanted to build something of your own need to learn this, that you have to be
Yeah,
prepared of the failures that are going to come along the
yeah,
way.
exactly.
That's true. So, how you have kept yourself motivated in this whole journey? I mean, being so young and then starting something out of the box and then having the family support now since you have started earning. So there must be some, expectations of family that you should have a stable life or something like sort of
Yeah.
this. So how you have kept yourself motivated? Yeah, itne failures ho gaye, but still I have to do this. I have to make something of my own.
So my only fear was that if I'm living this entrepreneurship life, I would have to do a job. Okay, and for me, jobs are like working on someone else's dream. So that is my biggest fear, and it will always be my biggest fear. Like, why should I use my skills and talent for making someone else's company big? I should rather use them in creating products for the people under my own branding. So this was my biggest failure, and this is the thing that only keeps me motivated. Like, if I'm not working hard, I will work for someone else. That's it for me.
So have you ever been in 9 to 5 job? I mean, for any short
Yeah,
period of time.
yeah. I've been in job for like two different companies. I was once working in India and once in Bahrain. So I think like I do job when I'm out of ideas. Okay. So when I'm out of ideas, I just go and do a job because that will show me like why I should never take a job again. Because the environment is not that good and there's a lot of pressure. Like there's no freedom over there. So that time I take job and I try to learn a lot of things from doing all these jobs because when I did job in Bahrain, I learned about the sales process in the Middle East market. When I did job over in India, I learned about managing finances. I learned about managing people. So I try to learn something from everything that I do. But yeah, I've been in job for like two different jobs, maybe you can 1.5 years.
So, what was your personal and professional learning from the jobs that you have done? Like professional, I would say you learn some skills like you have already portrayed, and there are some personal teachings too that you have learned and learned from the past experiences.
Yeah.
What were those?
So personal experiences, what I can call is like I learned to control the emotions because it's very difficult to control. For example, if I just close the client today, I might get hyper excited and I might do something that I should not do. And if I lose a particular client in that discrepancy, I might do something that I should not do. So this is one of the most important that you should control while you are pursuing entrepreneurship. That is emotions. And from the professional point of view, I learned the most important thing is like the key art of communication and managing people. Because these two things are really, really important because you need to communicate with the people. Because when I started Sproutman, I was on the ground zero. I used to go to clients, I used to convey the things that we are doing, I used to close the clients. And the art of managing people is like when we grew over the period of time, we need to hire a lot of people. We need to make them feel that this is your company, you are part of it, you are important part of this thing. So it's really difficult like to manage the people, but then over the period of time you will ultimately learn this.
Yeah. So when you were doing 9 to 5 job, you are you working on another project of your personal branding or something along with the
Yeah,
job?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was working on other project because the salary was not enough for me. And the thing is like I have a lot of expenses because I live a life that I always wanted to live. So I have a lot of expenses. So I should do freelancing. So that was it. But back then it was only for money because I just want money at the month end or anything. So it was about money like
And how are you managing your time? I mean, 9 to 5, and then you must be commuting back to your place and then doing something
yeah.
on your brand.
I used to work from like at night from like 10 to in the morning 4 or 5.
And then when you sleep and go back to work.
Yeah, I don't sleep much. I sleep for almost like just 2 or 3 hours every day.
Really?
Yeah, that's it for me. Like from when I was a child, that's how it works for me. I don't sleep much.
Okay. And do you like reading books?
Yeah, I read books, but mostly they are about entrepreneurship and biographies and all these things.
Okay, so we share the same kind of interest. And what books you have
Yeah,
read? I mean, is there
Steve
any book that you
Jobs.
would like to suggest?
Yeah, Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. You might have read that as well. 0 to 1. Then Elon Musk. Uh, After that, The Accidental Billionaire. So nowadays, I don't get a lot of time to read the books, but when I was like 2 or 3 years back, I used to read a lot of books. So my personal favorite is Steve Jobs.
Okay. And have you heard about 10x rule?
No, not yet.
you can actually go through that book. It's also very amazing.
Okay, okay, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah, that book is nice. So, if you have to, summarize all of your journey till date into one word, what it would be?
It's all about struggle, to be honest, and your will to succeed.
Yeah, and hard work that you're paying, working to make your dreams come
Yeah,
true.
when you have a dream, you will automatically work hard for it. That's not an issue. It will
Right.
come in the process itself.
And how do you feel when you see that, okay, you are actually creating an impact on somebody's life? I mean, if you're branding someone, that means you're creating an impact. So, how you
Yeah.
feel when they come back to you? Sometimes they may come back to you and say, Apu, that was amazing work and we are getting good rates from it.
Yeah.
So, what was the
So
experience?
yeah. So my end goal with Sprout Media is like to create impact, and that's what we are working for. Like the client comes to us and says like this thing had helped us to grow our business by certain percent. And I really feel happy like whenever we are creating some post or some campaigns and client post on the social media, and then their friend and they automatically refer to their friends and their business friends will come to us for their marketing part. So that was it for me. Like my main aim is like I have to work on something that will create impact on people's life, and that's what we are working for. Because we haven't spent a dime on marketing for social media on Sprout Media's marketing, but we have got all the clients because of referrals, and that means like we are doing good work because that's why people are referring us to their other friends. So I feel like very humble, like when people share our things on social media, when people say thanks for creating the campaigns and the things that we are doing for them.
That's really nice. Nice to hear.
Yeah.
And what's your long-term goal? I mean, where you are seeing yourself in upcoming years? I won't say the numbers like
When
5 to 10. I would say upcoming.
yeah. Well, to be honest, I haven't planned any goal as such because I believe in the journey and I might figure it out over the next some years, but still it's my learning phase and the experimental phase. But my end goal, what you can call is like I want to make impact on the lives of people with whatever things I'm doing. So over the period of next 5 years, I might be doing something else. But my aim or my main goal is like impact on the lives of people. But there's no such definite goal as of now because it's just learning phase for me.
That's good too. And since I mean, talking to you makes me realize that what you love most is impacting people's life. So how
Yeah.
much you support social work?
Yeah, I do support social work because we have NGO in Nasik that we used to market them for free. It's called COVID Army. And these people used to donate masks and other stuff for the COVID warriors. So I do support social work. And I saw about your organization as well. Can you just brief it about it?
Yeah. So we are going to give have this campaign of ration distribution. So later on, we are thinking of planning some sort of business for those people so that even if we are not there, they can earn by their own and can have food.
Okay.
So what kind of, I mean, is there anything that you could support us on creating that particular thing?
Yeah, sure. I can support you. Not an issue. We can include the marketing stuff and whatever you might say, we can do that. We can collaborate and do that.
That would be amazing to work with you. That'll be really
Yeah.
nice. And there are few more things that I would love to ask is what do you think Soch is? I mean, for you, what Soch is?
So it's like belief or thoughts that one may possess.
Right.
But I didn't thought so deeply about this thing, to be honest. So that's what came to my mind right now, and I just said it.
No, that's completely fine. And the thing that what is the one advice that you would like to give to the coming generation or the generation we are living in?
My advice would be like be prepared for your failures because we are not taught this thing in any school or college. We are always taught like you need to get more numbers in your exam, and it's like people think like it's a winning activity, but no, it's not. You are preparing these kids or the students for failing even miserably in the future because that time these people can't handle the failure because they are habitual of winning, and they think like getting good marks in class and these things they have to do. But it's not like that. You need to be prepared for failing, and you need to learn like how you can fail harder with every single thing and learn like absorb more and more learnings from that particular thing. So the one line I would like to say is like be prepared for failures because that's how you're gonna shape your life in the long term.
That'll be a really very gem kind of advice for the generation that we are living in. And
Yeah.
it's like rather than spending so much of time on social media for wasting time, basically, we should actually use to uh, make something creative rather than cribbing. We should
Yeah.
create.
Yeah, so it's like we just consume content a lot of times. We just swipe through the feed on Instagram. And the thing is like, even I consume a lot of content, but the thing is like at the back of my mind, I always, when I consume some content, I think like how I can repurpose this content or what I learned from this content and how can I create something more creative for my clients or my own company. So when you're consuming content, just have something at the back of your mind like you need to learn from this thing and you need to create something of your own. So creation is always better than consumption, but then for learning you need to consume something.
Yeah. Right. So it's like rather than just swiping, learn something from that swipes
Yeah,
that you're
exactly,
doing.
exactly. Yeah.
So is there anything about that you want to talk? I mean, ask us about?
Yeah, so I would like to know like what you exactly do and like what has been your progress with the NGO that you are working with and what would be like the end goal of this entire thing.
So I created this NGO like a year back, and the purpose was to basically the basic purpose was to help people as much as I can, and
Okay.
also it's not just physically helping people to distribute some stuff or something. It's like all online and offline help, whatever ways we can
Okay.
provide help. So basically, the name is Soch Antahi Aram. That means you have to end certain thing to create something. I mean, people think that they'll create something new, but they don't want to end their bad habits or something that they should actually work on.
Okay.
So we are helping right now. We are helping people online and offline both. Like online creators, we are supporting artists, writers, content creators. Everybody we are supporting to share their work with other people and collaborations. And offline, we do these campaigns, mass distributions, and then we visit old age homes. We are planning to do some diaper distribution in old age homes, and then upcoming projects are ration distribution and making people empowered by themselves, so that they don't
Okay.
need to be dependent on someone. This is,
Nice.
I mean, right now what our goal is to help people as much as we can, but yes, definitely we are working on more documentation of it so that we can give it more purpose.
Okay. Nice. And what did you do before this NGO thing?
I actually work in a software company, and it's like I am a developer by profession, but a social entrepreneur by choice. So currently
Okay.
in a process of doing both the things, 9 to 5, and then this thing. So
Wow.
we'll see. I mean, how things work. So probably I'll just turn myself completely from 9 to 5 to part full time into social entrepreneurship, but with time.
Yeah. And that's really difficult choice, like leaving your safety at job and then moving completely to
And
entrepreneurship where there are a
actually,
lot of uncertainties.
so this is the reason I can relate so much with you, that how you have to convince your family and what are the
Yeah.
challenges that you face on initial phases when you wanted to do something out of the box.
Yeah. But yeah, I could not help you much with the convincing of the family because for me it's like whatever I want to do, I will just do that. No obstacles, nothing. I just do that thing.
That I completely agree, but you can surely help us with digital
Yeah.
marketing and providing us
Yeah,
tips or
sure.
trainings
Sure.
to our team. That would be really
Sure.
very helpful if you
Sure.
someday
Exactly.
conduct some seminar or something.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. We'll do that.
So thank you, Apu. Thank you
Yeah. Thank you
for
so much.
finding this time. And it was really amazing to talk to you, to someone so young
Yeah.
and so creative.
Yeah.
That's really nice.